Hey everyone, today on Feathers Off Road we took the eBeast and the Sur-ron on the Mineral Fork Trail in Big Cottonwood Canyon, Utah. There are a number of sealed mines in the area, amazing views, snow in July, and an avalanche debris field that we had to try and cross. This is trail number 154 in Big Cottonwood Canyon, and it's basically straight up. In just over 4 miles, you're going to climb 3,200 feet, and the first half a mile, maybe even the first mile, is really rocky. The very end of the trail is just a ton of switchbacks, and we'll show some of that later. The rocks kind of change as you gain the altitude, but here at the beginning, it's this kind of rock, not too bad, but you get into some sections where you're almost having to walk the bike. And you know, here we come up on the Surron. He's already struggling kind of here at the beginning, and I'm sure he's thinking, what am I doing on some of this bigger rock? But he was a good sport. He watched some of the video of this trail from other riders. He watched some of that on YouTube before we even left, and tried to get an idea of what it was going to be like. So we knew going in, if we can endure the first, half mile to mile of this trail, that the rest of it was just going to be worth seeing, basically. As I get a little closer to the Surron on some of this ascent, just notice how he's handling it. I mean, despite all the rocks and the boulders and whatever, and this thing is not meant for big bouldering, it's actually doing not terrible, right? Like, I'm catching up to him, he'll pull away, I'm catching up to him. It's the next field that really I had to pass him and just kind of continue on. Even in this stuff, I mean, these are massive boulders. I'm essentially walking even the eBeast through a lot of this stuff. Sitting down, no chance of standing through a lot of this. It's just, without a steering stabilizer or something, it's just throwing you back and forth. But the cool thing on this trail is, again, you get through that first half mile, and all of a sudden it'll open up and thin out, and the rocks go away, and it's kind of a fun trail, but then the rocks come back like this. It kind of turns into a nice flowy single track, then it's a boulder field, single track, boulder field. Eventually it does even clear up further, but there's a number of river crossings, still snow melting, which we'll see more of later, but it was a good trail. And this is getting now to the altitude where a lot of the big annoying boulders are pretty much gone. We're able to carry some speed now, and it's hard to tell in this video how steep this really is. I mean, it's just from the time you leave the parking lot to the time you get to the top, it is just a climb. Switchbacks and climb. But fun and pretty. And now it starts to open up. Like I was saying, wherever you get the nice flowy single track, you're bound to be met with boulders again. And more boulders, bigger boulders, tight. Just, again, you're walking it. It's just so gnarly. More boulders. More boulders. More boulders. And you get the idea. first mine that you come to is a pretty nice stopping spot. The views are starting to get crazy. The rocks are gone by this point. Now we're met with snow. Got a snow crossing. Hopefully. Oh shit. Well, that went about as expected. Handguards did their job. Yeah.
I would have thought the Sur-ron would have been easier over that shit.
Now the rocks aren't big, but they're loose. I'm in second gear, and that's been pretty good, almost too torquey for this loose stuff. Oh, that would have been a bad day. Loose. Couldn't make the turn. weird rock. 100% rock now. At least it's not the big ones. This is pretty smooth. We have made some serious elevation. I think the top of this is 10,000 feet. I think we're gonna call it a day on this one. Last switchback is just that little snow right there. But we're probably 10,000 feet.
Yeah, I think that's 10,005 up there.
Yeah.
If you look up to your left, I think that's like a 10,500 feet.
So definitely turned to rock, probably around 10,000 right down there. But made it. Sur-ron eBeast.
I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't. Sur-ron's letting us go. Some of these switchbacks are interesting going down. This is the snow. It's July here, and we still have snow. Not a ton, but we're pretty high. Getting to be less shale. Well, maybe not, as I say. This is not the way we came up, but get a chance up in here. Instead of crossing that huge snow field again and falling again, there was a fork in the road. We went the other way. Now it's like maybe not a great choice. Oh, this isn't bad actually. A lot of snow. Oh, I've kicked it into neutral. You can tell, no more whining at all, just silent. Still on, and neutral. Crappy thing about this transmission is neutral is down. So if you do that, put your foot down quick, go into neutral. See how the Surron gets through this bushwhack. This is a really surprising amount of tree fall. I would almost say avalanche, maybe. Small one, probably. Oh, where'd you go? I don't think that's the trail. I'm sure it won't show up on camera, but straight out in front of me, there's a moose. We'll see. Holding still now. I don't see horns.
Right there is a moose or something. You can see it moving in the distance.
Definitely a moose.
Just went into the woods.
Definitely Looks like an avalanche. Snow plus tree soup. Hopefully we can get across. We actually went the other way. Can you get through? Oh, I am going to crash. So now we should be past halfway. That was the fork in the road that we came to before. We went left and came down the right hand side, but you can definitely tell the type of rock down here is different. This is more, trees are more aspen instead of the pine, and the shale is now gone. However, coming up, talking about the Sur-ron, talking to Clue, this seemed like the more challenging section for him. I don't think this was as bad on the eBeast, other than just trying not to get a pinch flat. I was more worried about the Slate, the shale, whatever, because that stuff will just, it sounds like you're riding on glass. This stuff is at least mostly rounded, but these rocks are a lot bigger. And now we're coming down, and there's a lot more of them. I think the very, very beginning of this trail was the worst. That first half a mile. There's a couple cool waterfalls along here. This all runs down into a big drinking water station at the bottom of this canyon. This is all watershed. Can't have dogs up in here, that kind of thing.
Once again, the electric bikes made it up and down that gnarly trail. Hope you enjoyed that video, and until next time, enjoy the ride.